Hi, everyone. I'm Barney Schlinger, speaking on behalf of myself and Joanna Cheever on hormonal control of behavioral sex differences in a tropical bird. This is Joanna pictured in the center. Most of the work I'm going to be talking about is work that she did, but it's based on studies that have been done by a number of different people, previous postdocs, graduate students, and undergraduates in my laboratory, including Matt Fuchsjäger, Leo Fusani, Lainey Day, Jenny Feng, and Julia Barsky. Most of this work, or all of it, was done down at the Smithsonian Tropical Research Institute in Panama and was funded by the National Science Foundation. So we all know that phenotypic sex differences, including behavior, that'll be the focus of the talk today, are common throughout the animal kingdom. Behavioral sex differences in particular experience organizational and activational actions. Those organizational actions occur largely developmentally by either tissue expression of sex chromosome genes or by differential gonadal hormone exposure. Behaviors are then, but not always, transiently activated by gonadal hormones after puberty. Much work has been done on stereotyped behavioral systems, but also on more complex behaviors like song of the Ossean songbirds. And we see some striking differences. So, for example, in zebra finches, singing is rigidly sexually dimorphic in adults. Males sing, females do not. If you treat females with testosterone, they do not sing. By contrast, in canaries, if you give testosterone to an adult female, she can eventually sing a male song. So there are striking differences in both the way that the brain regions that control song are organized and also then activated. So what about in elaborate courtship behavior? We've been studying the golden collared manakin for many years. This is a male. And they have striking sexually dimorphic phenotypes. They're suboscenes of the neotropics. They're polygynous. Males form leks of 2 to 15 individuals. Females do all of the nesting and parental care duties. Their plumage is sexually dimorphic. The male, again, here is on the left. The female is on the right. But this olive-colored bird could be a juvenile male. Males acquire their adult plumage in their second year or so. That'll be important in a few minutes. The males have an elaborate courtship display. I'll show you a video in a few minutes. When I do, just pay attention to the fact that the males establish a court. They clear an arena in the forest floor around which they jump and attract females. There is a great deal of acoustic signaling involved where males produce cheep-hoo vocalizations, but also produce these extraordinary wing and roll snaps that you'll hear in a few minutes. We do know that for adult males, that testosterone is important in activating these behaviors. We can examine this when we look at seasonal cycles. Testosterone levels are elevated beginning in about January, which is the beginning of the dry season in Panama, and they remain somewhat elevated throughout the entire courtship season. Males will be at their arenas and performing courtship displays daily for 6 or more months at a time. And testosterone levels then decline during the peak of the rainy season when the courtship behaviors diminish. By contrast, females and juveniles have very low testosterone levels year-round, and we see very little of this kind of male behavior from the juveniles and from females. So how much of the behavior is truly sex-specific and hormone-dependent? It's very difficult to study females in the wild because they are olive green and they tend to disappear if you implant them with testosterone. So we needed to study birds in captivity. We acquired an aviary in the middle of the Panamanian rainforest. That's Matt Fuchsjäger in the middle of the aviary here. We inherited this empty aviary and together with Joanna brought in dirt, planted plants to create the flora of a manakin lek. We created these groups of same-sex birds from 3 to 4 individuals. They were genetically sexed. They were all green, so they were either males or females. They all had low testosterone, and they were treated with testosterone-filled implants or blank implants for a week, held in captivity to ensure that they could survive well. And then after a week of testosterone exposure, they were released into the aviaries, and behavior was recorded daily for 3 weeks. This is a video. It's a rather long video, but it shows several different of the things, the behaviors of juvenile males. It's a howler monkey in the background and also toucans croaking. That's a roll snap. Another roll snap. The males jump from perch to perch and throw their wings over their backs to make loud single wing snaps. They also jump to the ground and perform grunt jump displays. And males will fight for access to the courtship arena. That was a grunt jump. You can see this male is plucking at plants. They keep the courts cleared of debris and of plant material. And here's a male removing leaves. We call this gardening behavior. So we've examined a number of these different behaviors, and they appear to form several categories of sex and hormone-dependent behavior. I'm going to just give you the conclusions now. All of the behaviors that we documented were activated or augmented by testosterone. Some of the behaviors were exclusive to males. Some of the behaviors were partially activated by testosterone in females, and some behaviors were fully activated by testosterone in females. I'll show you several of these graphs. If you look along the bottom, it starts with the females treated with a blank implant, females treated with testosterone, males with a blank implant, and males treated with testosterone. You can see here that claiming a court and gardening behavior are completely sex-specific. Females showed none of these behaviors with or without testosterone, clearly augmented by testosterone given to these males. The jump snap displays were also decidedly sexually dimorphic. There was one female who did a few possible jumps, never did snaps. Even males without testosterone did jump snaps, and the jump snap displays, again, augmented by testosterone. Roll snaps could be performed by females, though they weren't without testosterone. But they could perform them. And again, males, the performance of roll snaps was augmented by testosterone. And finally, aggressive fights, which I'm showing, could be fully activated by testosterone in females. They were just as aggressive with testosterone as were males. In fact, there's this one female up here who was extremely aggressive. Again, behaviors are either exclusive to males, partially activated by testosterone in females, or fully activated by testosterone in females. So in all likelihood, there are an assortment of organizational and activational systems at play in controlling these sex behaviors in this species. We do know that plumage color seems to be hormone independent. Direct genetic control of the integument as well as brain and behavior is possible. We know that muscle androgen receptor expression is equivalent in males and females and juvenile males, suggesting that whatever androgen insensitivity females might have, it doesn't lie in the muscles, which we know are important targets of androgen action. So when we think about the brain, we know that there is a cortex in the bird's brain. Presumably, males and females both can perceive what a court is, but only males are motivated to actually clear it and to claim it. The hypothalamus is clearly a region of motivation for many reproductive behaviors, as is the archipallium, where premotor circuits can then innervate mid and hindbrain structures that can lead to production of vocalizations out of the syrinx, but then also extend down to the spinal cord to innervate sensory and motor circuits that activate the peripheral muscles involved in performance of these elaborate courtship displays. So in conclusion, we really have much to learn about the neural circuits underlying the motivation to perform these and performance of these behaviors, and the way that sex steroids can act on them. And I'm sure that the same applies to many other species that have very complex life history patterns and behavioral repertoires. So thanks very much for paying attention, and